Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Before I start, could the audience please note that we will be... Good luck.
And this was the middle of the 19th century. Liverpool was in the midst of its golden age. Its custom house was the National Exchequer's biggest source of revenue. And at the same time, Karl Marx was scribbling away in the British Library, warning of a spectre haunting Europe, a spectre of communism. So today we meet in the first lost decade since that time, since the 1860s. Obviously, we meet after a global financial crisis, and we meet in the midst of a technological revolution which is once again changing the nature of work.
He was once listed by Time magazine of one of the 25 most influential people in the world. And despite this, he still finds time.
The fall of the Berlin Wall and the reforms initiated by Deng Xiaoping have led to an integration of no less than 1/3 of mankind into the global labor force. And in parallel, an explosion of technological innovations have brought access at a click of a virtual button to the entire sum of human knowledge to more than 3.5 billion people. These developments have lifted more than 1 billion people out of poverty and fundamentally enriched our lives. Globally, since 1960, real per capita income has risen more than 2.5 times, and life expectancy has increased by more than 2 decades.
I know that this will be a fascinating and illuminating insight into the complex world of national and international economics.
But despite such immense progress, many citizens in advanced economies are losing trust in the system. To them, measures of aggregate progress bear little resemblance or little relation to their own experience. And rather than a new golden era, globalization is associated with low wages, with insecure jobs, with stateless corporations, and striking inequalities. And these anxieties have been compounded by the crisis at the heart of finance. When the financial crisis hit, the world's largest banks were shown to be operating in a heads-I-win, tails-you-lose bubble. There was widespread rigging of some core financial markets exposed, and masters of the universe became minions. Few in positions of responsibility took theirs, while the taxpayers and citizens paid the heavy price. And a consequence of all of these developments, public support for open markets is waning.
Successful professional career with Goldman Sachs before moving into public finances. He enjoyed a highly successful tenure.
And the first is a priority for people like me, for economists, and that's the imperative that we clearly acknowledge the challenges that we face, including the fact, the reality that there are uneven gains from trade and technology. Secondly, policymakers need to work to grow our economy by rebalancing the mix between monetary, fiscal, and structural policies. And thirdly, we all need to work towards a more inclusive growth where everyone has a stake in globalization.